Way back in 1642, a French Catholic priest named Francois Richard was working basically as a missionary. While on the island, he wrote an extensive journal about his time there. And if you read it, you'd probably expect stories about the church, the locals.
Maybe some of the beautiful Greek food that it's just famous for.
Yeah, the rewarding challenge of converting the locals to the way of the Lord. It was actually pretty heavy on the vampires.
It's Twilight 1. It's the first book. New Moon or whatever the it's called.
There's a French Catholic priest named Stephanie Meyer. She actually wrote a collection of pretty interesting, pretty horny vampire books. This is a man of the church. This is the motherfucker who's supposed to be converting people to his religion. And he shows up and immediately is introduced to vampires, something that he's never seen before. Could you imagine him coming to the island with, like, you know, the robes and the Bible and the cross, and the locals kind of run up to meet him at the dock and they're like, "Oh, thank God. Are you here to help with the vampires?" And he's like, "The what?"
The what?
"I'm here to tell you all about Jesus. What are you doing over here?" It's kind of crazy that the one dude who's supposed to, like, not have a horse in this race at all comes to the island, and the only thing he wants to talk about when he gets back is how many vampires there are. One really cool quote from the book was, quote, "I want some of our atheists in France to come here, not to hear, but to see with their own eyes in the light of day, and to see how unjust they are to believe that when a man dies, everything dies with him."
Wow.
Pretty cool. He's kind of twisting that into being like, you know, he sees a vampire walking on the street and he's like, "My God, the Bible was right." You know, he's like, there is something after death. There is a mystical kind of force in the world that is unexplained. Now, I will say I did cherry pick some of the cooler quotes, because also in the book, he said that vampires have become so unrestrained that they not only run here and there at night, but also they show up at noon and go into the fields to collect beans.
Okay. That changes quite a lot. That does change quite a lot.
What?
They pick beans.
Can a vampire
In the-
harvest a couple beans
So they're
during
workers?
the day? What?
So they have jobs.
They don't have jobs.
The vampires have jobs.
Vampires
got
gotta eat. Vampires gotta eat, and if there's a couple
Flesh,
beans in the
I
field,
thought.
there's
I
a couple
thought
beans
flesh.
up for grabs. I ain't gonna say no. Look, what do you have on the plate with your sausages? Beans, motherfucker. You eat it with your meat.